I asked the Prime Minister how much McKinsey got. He said, well, it was all for the middle class. He's always had difficulty defining what the middle class is. Now we know his definition. It's his friends who make $1,500 an hour as high-priced consultants for his government over at McKinsey, where his personal friend Dominic Barton was the boss. We now know that he spent $15 billion plus per year on high-priced consultants, while Canadians are eating at food banks, living in homeless shelters, and house prices have more than doubled. Again, how much did his government give McKinsey? How much? Prime Minister says that Canadians have never had it so good as they face 40-year highs in inflation, as food prices are up 12% year over year after he brought in a carbon tax on our farmers, as the cost of housing has more than doubled, as students are actually living in homeless shelter. We know why, though, he's so out of touch with these people after 8 years, because the people he surrounds himself with, like the high-priced consultants at McKinsey, are doing better than ever. So I'd like to ask him again. This company did work of little or no value according to his own public servants. How much did Canadians have to pay for that?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, on the contrary, Canadians are struggling right now with high inflation caused by global crises, with interest rates, with disruptions in the global supply chains, and that's why we've stepped up to support Canadians. Despite Conservative politicians voting against it, we've been able to keep investing in Canadians while maintaining the best balance sheet in the G7. We have the lowest debt to GDP ratio, the lowest deficit of all our G7 partners, and we've put that to work to support the Canadians who need it most. We will continue to be there for the middle class and people working hard to join it.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Well, they finally got him to admit that Canadians are suffering, and it's after 8 years of this Prime Minister. After 8 years of this Prime Minister, we have 40-year highs in inflation. We have 32% increase in crime. We have the TTC transit system in downtown Toronto overtaken by crime. We have more people eating at food banks and living at homeless shelters after 8 years of this Prime Minister. But not everybody is doing badly. His friends at McKinsey are rolling in cash. First they said it was $50 million. Now the government says it's over $100 million. We want to know the real number. Will the Prime Minister finally answer the question? How much did he give McKinsey?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, everyone in this House, from conversations with constituents, with conversations with people right across the country, know well that Canadians are facing tough times. What the difference is between the Conservative leader and myself is, instead of proposing real solutions, instead of telling Canadians how they're going to help them and invest them, the Conservative leader stands up, crosses his arms, throws up his hands and says everything is broken. Well, that's not what Canadians are living through, Mr. Speaker. Canadians stick up for each other. We're there for each other. We support each other through the tough times. That's exactly what we've been doing through this pandemic, through these past years. That's what we will continue to do, no matter how much